Hello everyone, my name is Svennen and I'm from Anshar Publishing. Today I have with me developers from Zoria, Age of Shattering. Hi guys.
Hello.
And we will be doing some Q&A session. Thank you everyone who sent their questions. Let's jump into it. The first one, guys, how long is the main campaign?
Yeah, we get that question a lot, to be honest, even on our Discord channel. Where top of our heads, main story only would be 12 between 12 and 15 hours. But if you want to do all the side quests, I think we are rocking around 20 plus hours, to be honest. Because there is a lot of side quests to be done and a lot of crafting and outpost systems and missions and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a lot of content. But main story, plot, 12 to 15 hours. That's our goal.
Awesome. Thank you. Next one. Can you respec your build?
Yes, you can respect your build. In the beginning, there was a cost associated with it, but we came to the conclusion that removing this cost, it will be beneficial for the player because we want the player, the user, to experiment with the build as much as possible. And we have a lot of classes in the game, and we want you as a player to, uh, even after each combat, to just respect that certain class, go with another skill tree, and test it out in the next combat and so on, and see what are the results for that respect. So yeah, it's possible and it's free of cost.
Next one. Can you freely change your companions in the team?
Yes, this is one of the pillars of our game. You can actually, we have many classes, and you will be able, once you reach a certain point in the storyline and you reach the outpost and you meet all the people in outpost, all the NPCs, you will be able to reconfigure your party composition, your party setup. And while doing quests and adventuring in dungeons and unlocking outpost systems, um, more and more followers will come to your aid, and you will have a bigger roster to choose from. So also another thing that's super important, we have player versus environment abilities for each class. Let me give you just one example. um, a wizard can conjure up a bridge that you can otherwise it will be destroyed, and by conjuring the bridge it will allow your party members and your team to go to unexplored areas of a dungeon. But for example, if your party does not have a wizard at that point, you can go back to the outpost, recruit one, put it in your party, and come back again in the dungeon to pass that bridge. And every uh, class that we have in game has a player versus environment ability that can actually unlock content as you progress throughout the story.
Can players
Yeah.
make moral or ethical choices that affect the story and gameplay?
Yes, we have some player choices in our game. Um, while progressing through the main story, you will at some point reach to some choices. You either go with path A or path B. Path A, for example, will unlock a zone, and path B will unlock another zone. Something that is very important. Once you pick a side, like you pick a path, in order to do the other path, you actually need to restart the entire game. This will add a bit of replay value to the game, to the whole experience. Another point would be that in some quests, you can actually choose to, let's say, kill an NPC or save him, and the outcome will be different, obviously. So there are a few choices here and there. Uh, being a team of three, we didn't want to go overboard with this mechanic because it's super heavy on assets, on story and voiceover and stuff like that. But we believe that we have these choices where they actually matter in gameplay. So yeah, depending on what you choose, you will get different results. Save the princess, not save the princess. If you guys save the cheerleader, save the world, stuff like that.
Classic.
Classic, yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah, that's nice. Can you share how your game incorporates environmental interactions into puzzles, combat, or exploration?
Yeah, this is something that I touched a bit in the beginning. Each class has a player versus ability, player versus environment ability. The wizard has the conjuration spell. You can cross uh, chasms and broken bridges. Lancer, for example, can clear the debris from rubble, and you can pass to the other side and explore more. Other thing we have, for example, as a system, we have formations, and by utilizing formations, you can actually like huddle up together your party and try to avoid traps that are on the ground that are otherwise you can pass through them, but you will get a lot of damage. And if one of your characters dies, well, then it's game over. So you need to utilize that mechanic as well. And we also have like puzzle. The one thing that I super love is when someone in a dungeon is not really careful where he steps and he steps a pressure tile and then all hell breaks loose. So we have that as well. You basically you will discover it. Yeah, in game. We have a lot of hidden gems that for some players it will be fun. For others, I am 100% they will probably I don't know swear at me, but yeah, I'm the blame.
I see. Oh. And what do you think? What replayability value is in the 1.0 release?
There are two major things and lots of other smaller things. The two major things are as follow. One, you can pick and choose another class as you start. Uh, and by choosing a new class at the beginning of the game, it can actually alter the gameplay experience in the beginning, at least until around level 10, 12. So almost half the game, basically. That would be one thing. The other thing would be while progressing through the quest line, you will get to those choices that we talked a bit earlier, and you either pick path A or path B. So you will unlock zone A or zone B. And if you want to see both of them at some point, you need to basically play the game twice. The other thing is maybe in the first run you will not do all the outpost system or all the missions, or you will not really focus on crafting. Actually, we suggest you focus a bit on crafting, but that's another story. um, we tried in our level design approach to incorporate as much exploration as possible and small tidbits for the user to find. I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but some of them are pretty fun. That's all I can say. But exploration is another key pillar for us, and we really hope that pairs will actually go and explore every corner of the levels, basically, or dungeons.
That's awesome. I'm an explorer myself, and yeah, I love just going around and finding everything, and I love looting most of all. And I think in Zoria it's especially satisfying with yeah, I like the barrels popping. I love
Yes,
that.
yes, yes. I am myself. I like coding, so yeah, I like loot as well.
uh, since we're talking about replayability, will there be something like New Game Plus?
You mean like additional content?
I mean, like you finish the game, and then if you want to replay it, it has an additional difficulty level, I would say. So it's not only like playing on the hard mode from the get go, but you can play for the whole game, and then a new, like, hardcore mode is enabled. It's something like in
Uh,
Souls like.
okay, okay, I understand now. To be honest, no. For now, we will have story mode, normal, and hard. And at least at this point, hard it's pretty hardcore, to be honest. So no, the short answer would be we don't have that. We'll just keep to easy, normal, and hard, and that's it. We believe that hard for now is pretty okay. It's fine. It's fine. More than that, it would become unplayable or simply you would simply not be able to beat bosses and stuff like that in game.
Actually, I agree. I played on normal, and sometimes, well, you can't be playing mindlessly. You have to be mindful of
No.
what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So I can
This was
imagine.
another approach for us when we did the combat. We didn't want super complex combat, but we didn't want super easy combat. So we kind of did a mix between them, and the point that we are at right now, we are happy about it. You can't just mindlessly. Yes, there are some encounters where everything will just go very smoothly, but other encounters basically you need to be present. That's it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Um, okay, on to the next one. Changing the path a little bit, but does your game offer modding support? And if so, what aspects can players modify or create?
We had this question pop up in Discord as well. Unfortunately, no, we don't have modding support. The game was never intended to have modding in mind. We didn't even envision. Think about it. We are a team of three, and I can tell you it's a miracle we came this far, and we had this breakthrough that we managed to stay together and deliver it until this point. And yeah, modding was really not on our list, to be honest. And I really doubt this is something that Gabi, our developer, can answer better, to be honest. I don't think that modding can be added at this point in the process. So maybe for Zoria 2, if things go really well, maybe. But I yeah, I would not count for modding for Zoria 1 now.
Do you have plans for additional content or expansions post launch?
On paper, I think we have three expansions, to be honest, on paper. But if things go well with the initial launch, we would like to do an update or a DLC, something. I don't know. We have at least, I think, four more new classes that would like to have in game. But again, it all depends on the launch and the way the game is received and so on and so on. And content as in zones. Yes, to be honest, if you when you will play the game, you will see the Badlands to the south, like super scorching deserts and stuff like that with oasis. We would like to go there, and we have a couple of scenes that we started working on as I don't know, like a mood board, to be honest, to see how it would look like, how it would feel, and we have some stories to tell in those zones as well. So overall, we have the plans. We would really, really, really love to do them. And again, we have at least four classes, new classes that would like to implement as the content, as DLCs and stuff like that. And we believe that we still have a few more stories to tell regarding Zoria and where the whole plot is going. So fingers crossed.
And I think I have a last one for you. Are there any interesting anecdotes or stories from the development process?
It actually one thing it happened quite recently. Uh, Neles, I'm not gonna name names, but Neles, yes, he deleted the folder in one of the scenes, and the game was kind of broken for like a week or so, and nobody knew why until I know Gabi made some magic with the Git repository, and he
It
managed to
was
save the day.
all of the NPCs in the scene, all of them.
Yes, all of the NPCs in the scene were deleted, and nobody knew why. And another thing, before we actually hired a 2D artist to do the UI, I did the UI for throughout the years because we've been working at this game since 2017. Throughout the years, I made like 10 iterations for the UI for our game, and each iteration was better than the last one, and so on and so on. So by the time that the 2D artist came on board, we already knew what he needed to be done, and we just pointed, we want this and this and this and this and this, and everything went super smooth on that one. And another funny thing, or actually it was kind of a bittersweet experience, to be honest. After Kickstarter, we wanted to redo the characters for we had the support from Anshar Studio, and we wanted to redo the characters to better represent what our vision for the game would be. And basically, once we have the character editor, we replaced, I think, 300 plus NPCs in game. It was
We kind of forgot to count them before we embarked on this one. You know, it
yeah,
was
it
like
was
we're gonna redo them all, and yeah, that was fun.
yeah. And other than that, I don't know. Two highlights for me would be while working with on gameplay mechanics, not gameplay mechanics, boss mechanics or the enemy mechanics, and doing abilities and particle effects for their abilities and stuff like that. Sharing them on Discord with our community, that kept me and us as a team going, to be honest. To see the reaction and the feedback that you get from the community, that is something, it's fuel for the fire, basically. So that kept us going. And I don't know, in I think as a last point, level design wise, I uh, I looked a couple of days ago at some earlier work that I did, and it was very cringy comparing to what we have today. It was very cringy. I will not buy that game. No, it's the level of detail that we have now in the game does not even measure how it was like 3 4 years ago. So these are just a couple of things top of my head. There are many more, but yeah, that's it.
Some of them we shouldn't mention.
No.
Cut it out. Cut it out. That was very, very sweet, especially when you mentioned sharing with community and everything. Just what pushes you through when you feel like maybe there is some kind of stagnation or there is something, yeah, not really working the way you want to. But just seeing that people like what you've done so far, it's just, I can imagine it's really, really helpful. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you so, so much for all the answers. I loved it. And yeah, hope to see you next time.
Thank you. Hope to see you next
Great.
time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys.